Paris Hilton's life is a roller coaster of glam, gossip, and grit. From heiress headlines to building a business empire, her story isn't just fame. It's a reinvention masterclass. Paris Hilton was once believed to be the heiress to a jaw-dropping $15.4 billion family fortune. She was born into one of America's wealthiest dynasties, a world of luxury, fame, and privilege. But in a shocking twist, her own grandfather cut her off completely, leaving her with nothing. Most people thought that would be the end of her story, but Paris did something nobody expected. She fooled the world with her so-called dumb blonde persona, turned negative publicity into a weapon, and built a $300 million empire on her own. This is the unbelievable rise, fall, and reinvention of Paris Hilton. Let's uncover her story. Paris Hilton is the great-granddaughter of Conrad Hilton, the visionary businessman who founded the Hilton hotel chain. Conrad wasn't just wealthy. He built an empire worth over $1 billion in his lifetime, and by the time the fortune grew, it was valued in the tens of billions. Naturally, you'd think Paris and her siblings were born to inherit unimaginable wealth. But that's not how the Hilton dynasty worked. Conrad Hilton's will shocked his family. Instead of leaving equal shares, he gave out small gifts to his children. But crucially, he refused to give them direct ownership of Hilton Hotel stock. His son, Baron Hilton, Paris's grandfather, wasn't satisfied. He challenged the will in court and eventually walked away with 4 million shares of Hilton stock, consolidating power in his own hands. And under Baron's leadership, the Hilton family fortune grew into an incredible $4.5 billion. But there was a catch. Baron was fiercely protective of the Hilton name and reputation. He valued the image of respectability above all else. And unfortunately for Paris, her lifestyle clashed with that vision. In the early 2000s, Paris exploded into the public eye. With her nightclub appearances, paparazzi photos, and her hit reality show The Simple Life, she became one of the first global tabloid celebrities. But the release of her infamous tape pushed things over the edge. While the scandal made Paris a household name, it brought embarrassment to the Hilton family. Baron Hilton saw this as a betrayal of the family's legacy, so he made a drastic decision. In what many consider revenge, he revised his estate plan. Instead of handing down the Hilton billions, Baron pledged 97% of the fortune to charity. The move effectively cut out Paris, her father, and her siblings. Think about that for a moment. The fortune was worth $4.5 billion. Only 3%, about $135 million, was left for 24 family members to divide. If Paris had been included, she might have received $5.4 million. But she didn't get a single cent. She wasn't just excluded from her grandfather's estate, she was written out of the family's financial story altogether. Even her father, who had already been cut out, was forced to start fresh. He went on to build a successful real estate business, and eventually amassed a net worth of $350 million with Paris's mother. But here's the kicker. Paris isn't expected to inherit that either. So here's the turning point. Most people assumed Paris was done. They thought she'd fade away as a tabloid cautionary tale. But Paris Hilton didn't stamp her feet, and she didn't beg for money. Instead, she decided to build her own fortune. And she did it brilliantly. Paris understood something that very few people in the early 2000s did. Fame itself could be a business. She turned her last name into a brand, launched perfumes that sold over $2 billion globally, released books, created TV shows, became one of the highest paid DJs in the world, and expanded into 19 different product lines. Today, her ventures earn her around $10 million every single year, and her personal net worth is estimated at $300 million. And she's not slowing down. With Netflix shows, new brand partnerships, and a growing digital empire, Paris Hilton is on track to make her fortune even bigger. But here's what makes her story truly fascinating. Many people dismiss Paris as just another wealthy heiress who had it easy. But the truth is far more complicated. In families like the Hiltons, there's a huge double standard between male and female heirs. Male heirs are groomed to handle wealth. They're expected to manage money, grow investments, and carry on the legacy. Female heirs? Often they're sidelined. They're not expected to be financially literate. Instead, they're told to marry well and avoid scandal. Paris shattered that mold. Yes, she leveraged her name. But she did something far more impressive. She turned scandal into strategy, humiliation into opportunity, and fame into financial independence. At one point, she was the family embarrassment. Today, she's a global business mogul. Love her or hate her, one thing is certain. Paris Hilton didn't live off a trust fund. She built her own empire. And that's what makes her story one of the most surprising transformations in modern celebrity history. Right finger. So what do you think? Did Paris Hilton reinvent herself out of desperation? Or was she always secretly a business genius playing the long game? If this caught your attention, the next video uncovers the events that changed everything. Watch it now to complete the timeline. Meanwhile, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more documentaries like this.